the drama. Guys, this show right here is genuine because we're going to really talk about it. We're going to give you the nitty gritty of what we're thinking. We want you guys to chime in because it actually is some drama. Guys, it's only week 5. Only 5 games have been played. But guess what? A coach has been fired. Let's go. We got the drama. Everybody loves when we talk about drama. We just mentioned it not too long ago, ladies, but Micah Parsons is not wearing a Dallas Cowboys jersey. Oh, man, it makes me sick to my soul. All of the contract controversy that we had all offseason, ladies, we've been listening to it nonstop. The conversation is now over. Now, of course, it's flipped to what team is doing best without him or with him, whatever. But at least we don't have to talk about his money anymore because Micah Parsons became a $47 million per year player. And I just don't know. I don't know if we're setting a precedent with the situation because now that he's now making $5 to $6 million more than the next top player, I'm saying that these players could be making into the quarterback range. I mean, eventually. But what are you guys thinking? How you guys? What's your opinion on the Micah leaving Dallas situation, Delilah?
I think a lot of owners or a lot of people are probably upset that he threw off the numbers, right? Because I know when this happens, right? Because at first the highest player before him was Myles Garrett, right? And he's like. And so everybody, I remember when Cleveland gave him that contract, people were like, what are you doing? You're throwing off the formula, da-da-da. And with this signing, you're going to have like the same, because now you're going to have a lot of players who see this and they're going to, and we see it, like you said, with the quarterbacks, with the other positions that started doing kind of the same stuff.
Imagine Henderson, from Cincinnati. Now he's going to he's going to blow the market out the water.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's really what it is. I think it's a change of conversation again about how we talk about salary gaps, all these things. Like, are you willing to give up all these picks and stuff? And I understand taking a chance, especially when you're in a hard division, right? That always kind of ends up in the middle, right? Because our division, I'm sorry, you guys are going to call that NFC least, because our division, we're always dead center of, and we're the division of the Midwest, so go figure.
Right.
But we literally always land right in the center, one of these teams, right? Detroit and Wisconsin, the ladder of or Minnesota, some combination. And we're always just in the dead center. And so I get why, Green Bay was let me just throw a defense together, right? We saw how much that paid off for the team that you're going to talk about soon, because they believe the defense is winning championships, and they were proven right? Because we said, defenses don't win championships anymore. And then we have a team that's no, it still does if you know what you're doing, right? So
100%.
So I think we're going to see a shift in the conversation about defense and some of these guys, the star guys, and how much money they should be getting if they're carrying the team, right? If they're carrying the defense, if they're in the heavy lifting, they're the ones that, we always ask for a leader on defense, right? So typically these guys, they're asking for all this money, are the leaders in that defense, right? Who get them motivated, who are getting the picks, who are getting the sacks, who are getting the tackles, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's going to change the conversation about some of these, cornerbacks and the big, linebackers, the ones that are really setting the tone. And so, I think we're going to see all these people ask for money. Yeah, I think it's going to change that conversation again about the salary gaps, all these things. And we're going to see teams demanding more money because of what he got. They're like, wait a minute, if Green Bay, who's a small market, by the way, that's the thing too. Green Bay is a very small market. It's very niche. And, him being able to get all of this type of money that they were able to restructure to give him a contract, you're going to see all these bigger teams with more money, right? Bigger cities, more revenue going, wait a minute, if he got a bag, I want a bag.
100%.
So I think that's where the conversation is going to go now.
That's true. I think that's exactly how it goes. And Kate, I wanted to come to you because, in my opinion, when your defense is bottom 5, bottom 10 in the league, I don't know, when you make a case, yes, there's a good player, right? But how does Dallas justify paying somebody $47 million when even with that player, you're still bottom of the barrel defense. You know, we're witnessing all of those teams last year, the last 2-3 years, them just going down our throat. I mean, how many times has San Francisco and the Eagles have just pounded it down our throat? Rams, all of these teams have used their quarterback. The Saints took it to us last year off of running the ball. So, in your opinion, Kate, how do you justify it?
Justify the spending and justify letting Micah go? I think he didn't want to go. He wanted to stay in Dallas. He made that abundantly clear in all of his interviews that it wasn't for the fact that he really wanted to go to Green Bay. But at the end of the day, the talks just crumbled so bad between Jerry Jones and him that the agent said, we're done. We're done. We're going to entertain offers. But we also have Aiden Hutchinson, who is up for his contract renewal. And had he not gotten injured, he probably would have been Defensive Player of the Year and been the sack leader, unlike Trey Hendrickson was for my Bengals. So you talked about Trey Hendrickson and getting his bag soon. He settled on a contract, and they'll be renegotiating in the offseason. And he was the actual best defensive player in the league, technically, by numbers last year.
Absolutely.
He will want to get a really big bag from Cleveland, and they've renegotiated so many contracts lately. In the offseason, they worked in T. Higgins. They worked in Jamar Chase's contract. They renegotiated so many, and so did the Lions to bring on players. And we still have to sign our safety, Anzalone. So you just don't know how much money is going to be available to keep re-signing these players if you want to keep these teams intact.
Yep.
So we'll see how it plays out.
But don't you think Dallas didn't do them any favors now? Because now all of these good players, like you said, he's going to want to. $47 million is now the bar. So these teams now are probably crying.
And right now they're looking at settling Aiden's after the season. So if he starts balling out, starts getting his game together, and he's showing, look, I have better numbers than Micah Parsons, and he's getting 47. What are you willing to give me to stay in Detroit? So he's really smart that they're not negotiating till after the season to see where he can put his bag and his money's worth.
Oh, yeah.
Into the season. And same with Trey Hendrickson. It just starts a whole spiral, and it starts a whole hamster wheel of where this is going to go. And hey, I'm a defense girl. I think defense sometimes deserves more than those quarterbacks because those defensive men give the ball back to that quarterback and sometimes help them win the game. And I am a huge fan of defense wins championships. I'm huge into that. All my favorite players for Michigan are on the defensive side. So I am huge into saying they are the ones that make the offense shine at the end of the day. Because without your defense, your offense never gets the ball.
100%.
So I feel like they deserve bigger bags and bigger salaries and bigger part of the kitty. So, but you got to leave it for them. But with
they gonna get it too.
So it looks to me like, where is the salary cap going to go? Are we going to have to go like baseball and do luxury taxes if they go over the cap? And it just starts a whole different financial thing. But I am excited to see what Micah does in Green Bay and see if he is demand for them like he was for Jerry Jones. And, at the end of the day, all I have to say is, Jerry, you lost a good one. You lost a very, very good one. And
I think he knows that.
Hopefully that man and his son can ride off into the sunset and create new ownership for your Dallas Cowboys.
Never going to happen.
But all I got to say is that's the only way I think your team's going to get better.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But, they make the decisions, and that's what it is. Nicole, I'm going to come to you for the next question because we have a crazy situation with Jalen Carter and Dak Prescott. Before the very first play, other than the punt, that's all that happened. The kickoff of the very first play, Dak and Jalen were going back at it. Apparently, Jalen Carter was trying to come at Tyler Booker, and Dak being a vet, stuck up for him. And then when you did that widescreen as Dak was spitting on the ground, talking trash, Jalen took that offense and then walked up to Dak Prescott and hopped Tui all over his chest. So, what are you thinking about this, Nicole? I mean, do you think it's justified?
Okay, well, there's some health reasons here. Sometimes you can have an over saliva if you're drooling and you see that other person and you're like, oh my goodness, and then it just builds up and then you're just trying to talk to the guy and it just comes flying by. I don't know. That could be a possibility.
Do you think it was some type of mistake? It wasn't really supposed to happen.
Maybe, but I do think that it got a little bit heated, and yes, there could have been this and that happened. Maybe he had food in his mouth. I don't know. But I think it was uncalled for, and that you got to know there's cameras and they'll pick you catching a wedgie. Everyone can catch anything. And I just want to say something about Jerry Jones is I think he came out of his Tupperware bed a little too early on that transaction and just did a tap transaction. That's what I wanted to say.
I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, Delilah, tell me what you think about the situation.
I was laughing. Okay. Spitting in someone's face, by the way, is just, oh my God.
It's disgusting.
It's just, that's like fighting. I'm throwing hands. But anyway, just FYI.
Man of the year. Dak Prescott's runner-up for Man of the Year right now.
No, I don't. No, but me. I'm saying me.
No,
I'm not saying
everybody had the same reaction. There's no way I'm not putting up hands. You spit on me. So for Dak to just stand there. Yeah.
But the first thing I posted was like, well, Tua is the first play of the 2025 NFL season. And then I started seeing the memes. I'm like, damn it, I should have capitalized on that.
You should have.
But yeah, I just feel like rivalries, man, which we'll talk about later. But those rivalries get heated, man. That gets hardcore, like, tensions are flying, and I know they were talking smack, and now they were saying that he might have spit first, whatever. I don't know, but the fact is that Jalen, you're the one who got caught on camera. It's kind of
gotta control yourself
because you really went for it too. You were like,
it was that food, right?
Yeah. So I just thought, what a way to begin the season. Honestly, I was just like, well, okay. I guess this is where this is going.
Definitely a way to start it off.
But I just feel like it just happens with those rivalries, right? I'm not condoning spitting. Please don't spit on people. It's nasty. But yeah. And then apparently, because he didn't play the whole game, that counted as his 1-day suspension. Which people are like, really? So you
had to do that plus his game check. So I mean, he paid fine.
So they felt like that counted, and they didn't have to suspend him another game, so he gets to play the next game. And that's the part that some people are upset about because they feel like he got a slap on the wrist. I think he was fined like $50,000 or something, which is like nothing for NFL players. Mm. Like, what is $50,000? Who was? Oh my God! What NFL players to say that?
But he's still under his rookie contract.
But even their rookie contracts are crazy. Like we can't afford $50,000 a fine. I'm
crying. I'm about to sell my house.
They see what I mean? Like we can't. But even their rookie contract, $50,000 is like whatever.
Yep.
So that's the part too. People felt like they felt like he should have actually been like legitimately like suspended. Like they were like, just, to set the tone of like, you're not going to condone this. That's the part where I do kind of understand where some people are coming from. And that's not just Dallas fans. It's just in general, football fans are like, oh, so we're just going to let people just spit on folks. We're not just, we're just going to make it seem like it's okay. And I do understand that perspective. I do. I get that.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Kate, what you think?
I am fine with it, that game being his game suspension, and hopefully he's learned his lesson. It was a spit. It wasn't like he went for his throat and started choking him out, or it was spitting.
I don't know. I'd rather use.
I know it's gross. I know it's gross.
Put your hands on me.
But if at least he didn't didn't become more than that.
No, I know.
It could have even been a lot worse. So I'm fine with the $55,000 fine and the fact that that was his game suspension. But can we grow up and be men? Can we show a good example for the young men out there that look at to these players as role models?
True.
And cut this out of the sports? I'm seeing so much chippiness now in the games and fighting and spitting and all of this stuff. And I really wish these guys would sometimes, I know some of those athletes will go, I don't want to be a role model. Charles Barkley said it a long time ago. But you really are role models for those young men. And next thing you know, at junior football, kids are going to be spitting in each other's faces and find it cool and it's okay. So as a parent, I look at it from a standpoint, you are a role model. Let's have role model behavior and not do all this stupid stuff that they're doing.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, you're setting an example. You're setting a precedent. Young boys are looking up to you and people are going to emulate you. And so cut it out. You're not 2 years old anymore. You're a grown man in a grown man sport. Start acting like it and have some good sportsmanship. I'm tired of this pettiness that they show sometimes and how they take it down to a level that is very immature. And I'm just sick of it.
Listen to Mama Kate.
Yes.
I'm just sick of it. Be a man. You're in a man sport. You're in the big boy league. Cut it out.
All right.
Be a man.
Spoken.
Be a role model.
She has spoken. Look, Mama Kate said, don't do it. All right. We don't have much time. I just want to make sure I mention that a situation happened with Ryan Clark and Peter Schrager on ESPN this week. And it was kind of interesting, ladies, because Ryan Clark kind of came at Peter basically saying that because you never played the game, you kind of don't understand, right? And there's a lot of people who have never played the game but coached, know the game, know it well, know it enough. They may not have had to get hit or actually get into a game, but there's plenty of analysts that have made it big that have never actually stepped foot on the field. Do you guys think that it's okay for a player to think that they know more than somebody who's not stepped on the field but actually knows the game? What do you think, Nicole?
Yeah. I mean, I as obviously as a woman, I don't get to play football. I probably could start in a flag thing, but like I can talk all I want, and commentate like that we are right now, right? But I don't know what it's like to get hurt, get tackled week in, week out, deal with the press and stuff like that. And obviously also too, I've always been curious about the smack talk on the field and what they say and stuff. But yeah, you can't really comment and know unless you've like walked in another person's shoes, So I do think that there's benefits on both. Like obviously with the commentating, you have a different perspective. So I think that there's different perspectives at play. Yes, there's the player side, but yes, there's the commentator side of things. But I do have a feeling that players are subject matter experts in their own field. So that's what I gotta say.
I like that. that. Ladies, I know we don't have much time, but anybody want to take this one as well?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Nicole on the subject matter, but I disagree in that you have to have been able to play football to talk about it, because here we are. That's all I'm just trying to say. Like, here we are, and here's the OG LTF show. And I know Sean played football. That's an exception. But you know what I mean? Like, for the most part, a lot of the shows on LTF, a lot of the hosts who talk about sports just love it. We like football. We love watching it. We spend time looking at the players. We look at stats, and we do pay attention. Of course, I agree with Nicole. I don't know what it is to play like straight up, like hardcore tackle football at a college level, especially pro level. But we can't talk about it just based on knowledge, and that's 100%. Okay. Yep. But I get it. You're right. First-hand experience, no, I'm not going to know what that's like. But also, it's unfair to like look down on people who haven't played football that actually spend time in there. And like Schrager, like spends a lot of time. Like he went to school for this.
He's
You know what
went
I
from
mean?
the bottom to the top. In this
Yeah,
game.
he went to school for this because this is an actual job. I don't think you people realize this is a career. People go into sports writing and sports journalism.
Right.
And that's what he is. And so that is a career. You are analyzing plays. You are analyzing sports and not just football, because usually you're studying all the sports and you just find your niche. And so to say that he doesn't know where he's coming from, I thought was kind of unfair from Ryan, but I get it. People get heated again. Even the people talking about the game, get heated too. So yeah, so that's what I think about it. I'm like, I think we can have both. There's space for both.
Absolutely. And that's my main point, is that people can have different opinions. You could have played the game, I could have not have played the game, but my opinion is my opinion, your opinion is your opinion. It doesn't mean either one of us are wrong. Kate, what you think?
I just think that there's a time and a place, and sometimes I think it's good. Like one of my friends and I were talking about it lately. ESPN's becoming almost like a soap opera and drama, and they're just bickering at each other versus actually talking about the game of football and doing what they're being paid to do on the network. Instead of your opinion sucks and your opinion sucks, let's talk about the game of football, and let's do it in a cordial manner and put all of our biases aside, and let's just talk the game. That's what I love about Dan Orlovsky. He just goes in there, he analyzes, he gives his opinions. He's the best analyst that breaks down the plays, in my opinion. And I think more people could learn from that versus going in there. Ryan Clark's been very controversial lately. He and RG3 got in it about some stuff, but just try to go in there and try to be as neutral as you can, and let's all get along, and let's just talk about the game of football.
That's what I like, Kate. That's what I'm talking about. You're right. Just play the game. Look, watch the game. Both of you guys are watching now. You're not playing anymore, so watch it, and then we can both talk about it. But that's our drama, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are excited.